श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री दुर्गायै नमः। नगरात प्रवेशले पंडुनंदन, तो देखिले दुर्गा स्थान।
So, a very good morning to all my students of class 9 and also the students of class 10. Today we are going to take up the next couple of pages of the Merchant of Venice, Act 2, Scene 2. So, in our last video tutorial, we had finished up to page 53. So, now I am scrolling up to the next page, and please be ready for following the page from your textbook. So here we are on page 54 of the Merchant of Venice, and we are going to do page 54. Now, we already know that Lancelot Gobbo and Old Gobbo have met, and Old Gobbo has brought with him a dish of doves which he wants to give to Lancelot's master or employer, Shylock. But Lancelot has already made up his mind to run away from Shylock's service. So he tells his father to give this dish of doves to his new master, that is Bassanio. But for that, first he has to join the service of Bassanio, and therefore he and his father they try to talk to Bassanio because they suddenly see Bassanio coming in their direction. So then we have an amount of humor because we can see that Lancelot is doing his foolery, and his father, who is also illiterate and almost blind, is also speaking in such terms, misusing certain words in such a way that it is adding to the humor of the scene. So let us try to see now what conversation goes on among these three people, that is Bassanio and Lancelot and Lancelot's father, Old Gobbo. Gobbo says, I have here a dish of doves that I would bestow upon your worship, and my suit is. So I have brought with me a dish of doves, and I would like to give, bestow means to give, this dish of doves to you. Your worship is an honorable way of referring to someone who belongs to a higher social status. So I would like to offer the dish of doves to you, and my appeal is. Suit means my request or my appeal. So he's going to make an appeal for the sake of his son. So Lancelot interrupts in between and says, in very brief, the suit is impertinent to myself. Now here Lancelot makes a mistake because he says impertinent, whereas he should have said pertinent. So he means irrelevant when he says this, but actually he wants to mean relevant. What Lancelot means to say is that the request is actually related to me. But instead of saying that, what is he saying? He is saying the request is actually not related to me. Impertinent means not related. So this is where the fun or the humor comes in. As your worship shall know by this honest old man, and though I say it, though old man, yet poor man, my father. So it's Lancelot's way of talking. He says that you will come to know about my request from this honest old man, and though I am saying it, that he is an old man, yet he is a poor man also, and he is my father also. So please listen to him. So if Lancelot wants his father to speak, then why is he interrupting his father? But this is the nature of Lancelot. He keeps on interrupting, and this creates a lot of confusion. And so Bassanio, who gets confused because of this kind of conversation which is taking place, he says, one speak for both, what would you? I don't want both of you to speak. Any one person can speak on behalf of both of you. Now tell me clearly, what do you want? Lancelot says, serve you, sir. Well, I want to serve you, sir. That's what I want. Gobbo says, that is the very defect of the matter, sir. So, instead of saying effect, he says defect. You all know what defect means. So he says, that is the very defect of the matter. Whereas he should have said defect, he is saying defect. So the meanings are given alongside the text. So as you read the text, when you read the text at home, you should always go through these meanings. I have been telling you time and again that these meanings of the different words and expressions are very important. Now Bassanio says, I know thee well, thou hast obtained thy suit. I know you very well. In fact, you have already got what you want. Meaning to say, I have already accepted you as my servant. Shylock, thy master, spoke with me this day. Your master Shylock, he has already spoken with me about you. Today itself he has told me and has preferred and hath preferred thee means and has recommended you to me that I should appoint you as my servant. So your master, your present master, that is Shylock, has already told me that he is discharging you from his service and has recommended that I should keep you as my servant. If it is preferment to leave a rich Jew's service to become the follower of so poor a gentleman. Now, if it is a preferable thing for you that you want to leave the service of a rich man like Shylock, a rich Jew like Shylock, and you want to join the service of a poor gentleman like me, I have no problem. I'll take you. Now, when he says this, Lancelot says, the old proverb is very well parted between my master Shylock and you, sir. You have the grace of God, sir, and he hath enough. So Lancelot is referring to an old proverb. The old proverb is, the grace of God is gear or possessions enough. So the grace of God, you can see here alongside, if you look towards the notes given alongside, the old proverb is, the grace of God is gear or possessions enough, which means that a person who gets the blessings of God, he has enough wealth. That person is the most fortunate, in other words. So money, riches, property, all this is not wealth. Blessings of God, the one who receives the true blessings of God is the richest. You don't become rich with all the money that you earn or all the property that you make. You become rich. Your spirit becomes rich when God blesses you. So that is what Lancelot is trying to say. He is comparing Bassanio with Shylock and is saying that Shylock is a person who has a lot of wealth, no doubt. But that kind of wealth is not real wealth, because you have the blessings of God. And so you are the richest, not Shylock. In what sense? Well, because he says this because Shylock is a Jew, so and Bassanio is a Christian. So a Christian gets the blessings of God and the Jew does not. This is what Lancelot means to say. Though it is not really that case, but then all the Christians in those times had a kind of hatred or dislike for the Jews in Venice. And that's the reason every Christian had this tendency to criticize the Jews. And that is why he's saying this, that Shylock could be having wealth, money, property, maybe, but he does not have the blessings of God because he's a Jew. God blesses only Christians and you are a Christian, and so you are the wealthiest, not Shylock. So try to understand what Lancelot means. Now Bassanio says, line number 160, thou speakest it well. See, Bassanio is pleased by this comparison which Lancelot makes. Why? Because he's a Christian and he's being praised for being a Christian, and that God is blessing him because he's a Christian. And he's being said all this by a Christian, because Lancelot is also a Christian. And Lancelot, being a servant, knows how to please and flatter his would-be master. Bassanio is going to be his master, so he's trying to please Bassanio. Go, father, with thy son. Take leave of thy old master and inquire my lodging out. Go, father, with your son, telling old Gobbo, go with your son, find out where I live, find my house, and be there. And then he tells his followers, Bassanio has some servants and attendants with him. He tells them or instructs them Give him a livery more guarded than his fellow. See it done. Give him a dress or a uniform which should be much better than whatever has been given so far to the other servants. He should get a better uniform. Make sure that it is done. So he orders that a special dress or a special uniform, much better, much more decorated, much more showy than the ones which have been given to the other servants, should be given to Lancelot. Why? Because this is an indication of the fact that Bassanio wants to make Lancelot his main or chief servant, who will look after everything and also control the other servants. So that is why he tells him, give him a kind of uniform which should be different and better than the uniform given to the other servants. So after that, Lancelot tells his father, Father, I cannot get a service. No, I have never a tongue in my head. So what he means to say is that he is asking his father to follow him. There are two options. You can look at the meanings. One is that he is probably asking his father to get inside Bassanio's house. Maybe they have come while talking, they have come near Bassanio's house, so he is asking him to go inside. And the second possibility is that he is probably asking his father to follow him, because just now Bassanio has said, go and find out my house and be there. So this could be the greater possibility. So anyway, and then he says, what he says after this is all nonsense. So don't get confused. Just try to read the meanings explained alongside. I am also trying to explain. In short, listen very carefully. He says, no, I have never a tongue in my head. I don't have a tongue. See, with your tongue you are able to speak. So he says that I am not a good speaker. Maybe that's the reason I don't get a good job. Well, looking on his palm, and then as soon as he says that I am not a good speaker, the second thing that comes to his mind is, let me check my fortune. So now palmistry. Palmistry refers to looking at the lines of the palm of a person and then trying to predict things about his future and also about his past. So this is called astrology. And Lancelot, although he does not understand astrology at all, he pretends, and this is what makes the audience laugh. He is looking at his own hand, the palm of his hand, and he is commenting, looking on his palm. If any man in Italy have a fairer table, which doth offer to swear upon a book, I shall have good fortune. I think I have the best palm. The table refers to the flat surface of the palm. He says, any man, this thing is happening in Italy because Venice is in Italy. So he says, in entire Italy, if any man has a better palm than what I have, if any man in Italy has a better hand or better lines on the palm of his hand than I have, I can swear upon a book. Meaning to say, I can touch a holy book and swear that I have the best hand. I shall have good fortune. Go to, here's a simple line of life. I'm sure I'm going to have good fortune. So on one hand he says he does not have the capability to speak very well. On the other hand he says that he is very lucky. He has a good fortune. So he confuses the audience with all this nonsense. And he says, go to, here's a simple line of life. Go to was a common expression of surprise. So he says, I have a simple lifeline in my palm, which shows how long I will live. Here's a small trifle of wives. And then he says, looking at some of the lines, that from these lines I can make out that I will have just a few wives. Small trifle, very small amount of wives. He is thinking about having wife, not wife, but wives. And he says, I have a very small amount of wives in my hand, in the palm of my hand. Alas, 15 wives is nothing. 11 widows and 9 maids is a simple coming in for one man. Alas, I have only 15 wives mentioned in my palm. That is too less. Just 15. At least a man should have 11 widows and 9 maidens for his wife or his wives. So 11 plus 9, 20. So he segregates. He says, in a normal man's life, there should be at least 20 wives, out of which 11 should be widows whom this man will marry, and then 9 should be maidens. That means they have never been married before. So 20 is a normal thing, and I have only 15. So I have 5 wives less in my palm. So it's too less. He is unhappy. And then he says about other things. He talks about lifeline, then he talks about wives, and now he says, and to be. Okay, and then he says, and then to escape drowning thrice, and to be in peril of my life with the edge of a feather bed. He says, I will escape drowning 3 times. My palm says, I will be escaping death by drowning 3 times, and I will also be risking my life once by falling off the edge of a soft feather bed. Here are simple escapes. Here in my hand I can see simple escapes. Escapes from death. Well, if fortune be a woman, fortune is personified, she is a good wench for this gear. Well, if any man in Italy has more fortunate palm, which he places on the Bible when he is swearing an oath, I am very surprised, for I shall have good fortune, he says. And then he says, I can swear an oath. Just as a person lays his hand on the Bible and swears, so also I can do it. And then he says, simple line of life. I am reading out the meanings given alongside. You can also follow. Clearly, a clearly marked line on his palm, denoting that he will have a long life. Unbroken lines joining the base of the thumb to the line of life were said to indicate the number of wives that a man will have. So these are the rules of palmistry. Don't get into any kind of confusion. Whenever you are stuck, just go through these explanations. And then he says, here is a small unimportant line dealing with marriage. And trifle means unimportant matter, and maids refers to virgins. Like I told you, women who have not been married before. And then he says simple coming in, that means a modest income. Perhaps Lancelot is thinking of the dowries his wives would bring him. So Lancelot is even thinking about that. And then to escape drowning, that is, I am to escape drowning. And peril means danger. And featherbed. Featherbed has no edges. By falling over the side of a featherbed, so nobody can possibly fall off the side of a featherbed, because a featherbed has no edges. And then he says, if fortune be a woman, see, all the meanings are given here. So if you go through, you will be easily able to understand the meanings of each and every expression of Lancelot. Fortune is depicted as a woman to indicate the inconsistency of fate. That means, that was the concept, sorry to say, that in the olden times, that women are inconsistent, or they are not constant, they keep changing their minds. That is what Shakespeare believed, and that's what Lancelot is also saying. So it puts women in particular in bad repute when Shakespeare writes like this, but can't help it, it's given there, so I am mentioning it. Then wench means a woman or a lady or a girl. In this case, it means lady. For this gear means for this purpose, or the business of fortune telling. So these are the meanings. So then he says, if fortune be a woman, she's a good wench for this gear. That means fortune, if fortune is a woman, then I should say that she is a good woman because she has favored me. She has favored me. I am going to be lucky. I will have 15 wives, so I will get dowry from all those 15 wives. So anyway, that will be less, because a normal man should at least marry 11 widows and 9 maidens, according to Lancelot. That's what he says. But then 15 is not bad either. I will be making a small income, no doubt, if I marry 15 times and if I have 15 wives. Anyway, I thank fortune for showing this favor to me. Father, come, I'll take my leave of the Jew in the twinkling of an eye. So within a fraction of a second, I will take leave from Shylock. I will tell him that I am leaving. So I'll just go and say goodbye to Shylock, and then I will go and join Bassanio's service. Saying this, exeunt Lancelot and old Gobbo. Finally, the comical part of the scene gets over. Let's see what Bassanio says. I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. These things being bought and orderly bestowed, return in haste. So Bassanio is giving certain instructions to another character whose name is Leonardo. He says, I request you, I pray thee means I request you, my good friend Leonardo, think about this. These are the things which have to be purchased and have to be put in proper order where they have to be put. Return in haste, come back fast. After purchasing and putting the things in the right places, come back fast, for I do feast tonight I do feast tonight, because I will be having dinner tonight, my best esteemed acquaintance. So I will be having dinner tonight with my best friend, meaning Antonio. Hi thee, go. So I usher you to go. Hurry up, please go and get the things done. Make the purchases and put the things where they are supposed to be put, and then quickly return to me and report to me, because I have to go for a dinner party, because tonight I am going to have dinner with my best regarded friend. In other words, he is referring to Antonio. Now hurry up and go. And he tells Bassanio, tells Leonardo to get going. And with that we come to the end of this page also. So we have finished 54 and page 55. So that's it. I hope you have been able to understand and see. Lancelot's remarks and comments could create confusion. Don't be confused. Go through all the explanations that are given here. If you don't understand, read again and again, so that finally it gets into your head. And if after that also, if you have any doubt or any query, you can clarify those things in the Google Meet session, which we will be having obviously almost every day. Whenever we have literature class or language class, you can ask me. I'll be happy to explain once again to you. But first, listen to my video and watch my video, and also go through the explanations. If you don't do that, simply ask me, then there is no point. I have explained already. Go through this video carefully, repeat the areas which have those difficult lines, refer to the notes and listen to what I have said. And even after that, if you have any problem, only then you can ask me. So that's it. Thank you very much.